I'm going to do a full elite scoring moves workout. Milliseconds matter, and you'll soon find out what I mean by this. I'm starting here with 2 basketballs. I'm going to be doing a delayed mirror hesitation and then pushing my dribble out. So I have my main ball and my other ball. With the other ball, I'm going to be bringing the other ball close to my main ball during the mirror hezi as if I were picking the ball up. And then while I'm doing this, I'm going to be faking a shot and then pushing the dribble out. My footwork here, I'm working on a 2-foot tap, and then I get into the push off. So I'm working on being abrupt, delaying my mirror hesitation. So I need to pound my dribble, and I want to delay it as long as possible here. So working on a long delay, long hezi, and then get into the mirror. And I'm not looking up at the hoop until after my feet make floor contact during the 2-foot tap. I don't want to give away to the defender what I'm going to do next. All right. Now I'm going to do it in the other direction. To have a longer hezi, I need to make sure that I'm pounding my dribble hard so that there's enough power behind the dribble. If it's weak, I won't be able to legally hesitate as long, so that's key. But this timing is crucial. There are delayed mirror hezzies and there are instant mirror hezzies. These are delays. What I found, being able to alter timing between instant mirror hezzies and various delays can really make you much harder to guard. It doesn't matter how good of a defender you're playing against. If you can shoot the ball and you can fake your shot off the dribble, changing the timing, changing the footwork, it can make you quite devastating and quite a problem for your defender. So here it is, other way. Remember, in this particular delayed mirror hezi, the look up towards the hoop should be abruptly executed after the 2-foot tap, not before. There it is. Now I'm gonna make 2 free throws and get into the next drill. This is Elite Game, episode 4. I'm working to be harder to guard and gain every advantage possible.
Superhandles, the gold standard for crafting an elite game that is unforgettable.
Now I'm gonna do 2-ball, V behind the back to the delayed mirror hezi while doing a 2-foot tap, followed by the between the legs dribble. So V behind, 2-foot tap, delayed mirror hezi, and between the legs. I wanna pound my dribble and try to hezi as long as possible, and then abruptly get into the between the legs dribble following the mirror hezi. So delay the mirror hezi, boom, between the legs. Now I'm gonna do it in the other direction. I need to make sure that I'm delaying my mirror hezi, so I need to delay my look up at the basket and then do so abruptly. And then immediately following the fake, I'm going between the legs. Now I need to make 2 free throws in a row. Now I'm going to execute my 2-to-1 method. So I've already done the 2-ball part. Now I'm going to go to 1 ball and do the same move. So I have the V behind the back, 2-foot tap, delayed mirror Hezi between, working on crisp dribbles, trying to make them as crisp as a cold apple, and Hezi as long as possible. Okay, now I'm gonna do it in the other direction. Same thing. I'm gonna rest for a moment. All right, now I'm going to the free throw line. I need to make 5 in a row. Now I'm going to be shooting mid-range jumpers, but I'm going to start out by performing a delayed mirror Hezi. I'm going to do the same one that I was just working on. So I have the V behind the back to the 2-foot tap, to the delayed mirror Hezi, to the between jumper. During the between jumper, I'm gonna pin my shoe to the floor. I'm not taking any additional hops or dribbles. When I have an advantage, and this between the legs dribble should be violent, I need to sell the drive following my shot fake. And if the defender bites on this, I need to be able to quickly capitalize and rise up into the jumper. So I'm working on 2 fakes, the shot fake to the between, and that's a fake drive. So we have 2 fakes back to back, followed by the jumper.
I need to make at least 10 mid-range jumpers in each direction.
What I'm emphasizing here is a hard between the legs dribble following the mirror Hezi, and then I need to transition as quickly as possible. So this is something that I'm regularly trying to make faster, the transition from the dribble to the pickup into the shot. I don't want to take a long time from here to there. Players often go here, bring it over here, and then go up for the shot. That's too slow, especially if you want to be as hard to guard as possible. Oh my gosh. Now I need to make 2 free throws in a row. Now I've got the same drill in the other direction. Now I need to make 5 free throws in a row. Now I'm gonna start out in the same manner as in the last drill. So the first part of the move is the same here. I'm dribbling behind the back, pounding it behind the back, then performing a delayed mirror Hezi. But instead of going through the legs after, I'm going behind the back again, pinning my shoe to the floor, faking the drive with this violent move, and immediately rising up for the 3-point jumper. I need to make 5 each way. Two-foot tap on them.
That's 2 more. You're gonna do free throws?
I'm gonna do 5 more the other way.
Oh, right, you only do one way.
If I want to keep progressing, I need to push myself to the point of making errors. And then I need to keep pushing beyond that. So in other words, I need to challenge myself repeatedly during each training session that I do. This is something I've done for many years, and it's enabled me to continue to progress my game. And I recommend that you do the same if you want to keep leveling up. Understand that most are not going to do this, or they may start and then stop, or they're going to do it sporadically. But if you discipline yourself long-term to putting in elite quality outputs on a consistent basis, those really add up over time, and big progress can be made. The question is, are you willing to do this? Are you willing to get out of your comfort zone on a daily basis? As I mentioned, most aren't going to do this. But if you want to be exceptional, you need to be the exception.
Now I need to make 5 free throws in a row. One thing I'm really serious about is passing the ball. Not only the fundamental passes, but also creative passes. I grew up watching Pete Maravich and then Jason Williams. These two had tremendous creativity. I watched others as well, and I wanted to be able to pinpoint my passes to my open teammates in scoring position, and to be able to do so in numerous ways. So while I was growing up, my dad encouraged this type of creativity. He wanted me to be able to pass behind my back, going full speed, stationary, regardless of the situation, be able to put the ball behind my back and hit an open teammate. So this is something I've practiced since I was a young kid, and I'm still working on today. I'm still trying to enhance my ability with passing the ball. One way I do this is by performing off the board drills. So for this one, I'm going to stand behind the free throw line, and I'm going to do the Supe Deluxe move, followed by a behind the back pass off the board. I want to make sure I throw it hard off the board here, because I want to receive the ball one-handed while standing behind the free throw line. And then I'm going to repeat the sequence again. Supe Deluxe, behind the back pass, and I want to make this combo as quick as possible. When I see an open teammate, whether I'm out on the perimeter, dribbling the basketball, a post is open, I need to be able to whip it behind my back to the post.
I love to be creative and play in a way that is different than the norm.
I was brought up this way, and superhandles players that are really committed have a different game as well. It looks different. It's not just the conventional type passes. I remember one time when I was in high school in a practice, and I was playing for a coach that didn't appreciate my passes. I was on the fast break, and I put the ball behind my back and then threw it behind my back to this guy who laid it in, by the way. He caught it, laid it in, it was 2-on-1, and the coach was angry. The guy caught the ball and laid it in, and he was still mad at me for throwing the pass. He said, "Don't give the official the chance to call a travel." Does that look like a travel to you? Not even close. Some coaches really feel themselves and they love the power they exert over players. Some do. And it's a disgrace. But this type of game that I like to play and that I teach is a fun way to play. It allows you to use your creativity while still playing within the rules of the game, while still playing to win and make your team better. And it gives you an advantage because you're not limited by conventional ways of playing, by conventional skills. You can be creative with the basketball so that you can get the job done. And it makes you harder to defend, harder to figure out, makes you more unpredictable. Now I'm gonna do this drill, and I'm gonna do it until I can do 10 in a row in each direction.
Some areas of emphasis here are the one-hand catch, and I want to be able to transition quickly from that one-hand catch to the Supe Deluxe. And I want that to be a rapid maneuver, and then transition immediately to the behind-the-back pass. And I want to throw this ball hard off the board. I want it to make a loud boom. So if you're hitting the backboard and it's quiet, turn up the volume. Now, if you're not able to do this from behind the free throw line, you can scale it back a bit. You can do it off a wall, or you can do it closer to the backboard. And as you keep raising your ability, eventually you can scale up to do what I'm doing right here. Now I'm gonna do the Supe Deluxe the other way and throw left hand behind the back passes.
Heads up.
I'm gonna go behind you.
Now I need to make 5 free throws in a row. Now I'm going to do the V behind the back to the 2-foot tap to the delayed mirror Hezi, and at that point, I will go one of 2 ways. The first one I'm going to do is the pound dart jumper. So in the pound dart jumper, I pound my dribble, pushing it out. I step with my ball side foot. I immediately plant that foot and rise up for the jumper. My aim is to sell the drive with the pound dart jumper. So I perform that delayed mirror Hezi, and I can go to the right with the pound dart jumper, or I can go behind my back to the crossover step jumper. That's the next move. I found that it's paramount that I have options ready so that I can counter defenders. So if I perform my mirror Hezi here and the defender steps over this way, I need to be prepared to go the other way. Or if I go here behind the back, delay mirror Hezi, and the defender is right here, somewhere in this area, and I fake the drive, and the defender goes with me in this direction to try to cut me off, and I instantly stop. I need to be able to do so abruptly while assessing the defender and where he is. One thing that my dad has taught me is to always be prepared. That's his aim. Not just in basketball, but in other areas of life. And on the court is no exception. I need to be prepared for the best of defenders. One more here. Now I need to make 2 free throws in a row.
And now the other way.
Heads up. Man, that was good agility on your part, man. That's good reaction.
Thanks. Try to be as quick as I can.
I need to try to make this my highest jump ever on this shot. Now I need to make 5 in a row from the foul line. Now I'm going to explode out of the mirror Hezi with a V behind crossover step, and I want to take a big step like Iverson. Push off quickly, big step, and pull up abruptly. Now I'm gonna do it in the other direction. I'm working on being abrupt, I'm working on delaying my mirror Hezi, and then quickly pounding that dribble behind my back. I need to have a hard behind the back dribble in order to sustain me during this crossover step. If I don't have the shot there, I need to be able to continue my dribble. So I want to delay my pickup as well. But what I'm doing here is I'm actually going to pick it up, but I want it delayed to the last moment, and then I'll rise up for the jumper as I complete my crossover 1-2 step.
Notice the timing of the various actions that I'm performing here. I'm really working on abrupt transitions. A pounded behind the back dribble, an abrupt Hezi, then I'm tapping my feet, and then abruptly performing the mirror Hezi. Also notice that the mirror hand movement is delayed until I perform the mirror Hezi. I'm not moving that hand closer to the ball beforehand. I'm keeping that hand over by my side, and then boom, I'm moving it a significant distance, and this makes it more likely to be noticed. And it's threatening, it's fast, and then it's an immediate V behind the back and explosion out of the move. So my feet need to be prepared for push-off as I perform the V behind the back. I want to be able to push off instantly, that's the aim. And then after the explosion, I want to stop as quickly as possible and elevate.
Now I need to make 5 free throws in a row. I'm going to do eyes closed, imagination, mid-range jumpers. I'm going to perform imagination with my eyes closed so I can work on different moves. I'm going to use my imagination, and then I'm going to quickly rise up into my jump shot. And as I'm going up, I'm going to open my eyes. So the imagination part is performed with my eyes closed, and then I delay the opening of my eyes until I'm going up for my shot. Now I need to make 10 free throws in a row. Now I'm going to do some multi-directional hops for my ankles.
I'm gonna do these hops individually with each foot. I'm using my imagination with these hops and pushing myself. This is something that you can incorporate for your feet and ankles. You can use it as a warm-up drill. Use your imagination and be sure to push it. Work on your speed. Work on changing your direction. You can incorporate jumps of different types and at different heights.
Here's left foot. I've been doing explosive movements on the court in this workout, exploding out of moves, quickly stopping, elevating on shots. I've been practicing my explosive movements. I've been pushing myself. I haven't been staying within my comfort zone. I've been trying to push off as quickly as possible. I've tried to stop as quickly as I can and elevate high on my jumpers. But another paramount component of my super explosive training involves weights, the shock method, and other special exercises. I'm gonna do single leg pad squats here, and I monitor the bar speed. For this first set, I'm just doing 135, and then I'll go up and weight. Full rest, I'm on the ball of my foot, and then I explode. This is a static dynamic method. Now I have 205 pounds on the bar, and I have a record that I'm trying to break. I'm measuring it with a Tendo unit. But the one thing I want to point out is that I found that when I measure, I'm able to push myself to achieving higher levels of performance because I can monitor what I'm doing and push to achieve higher levels, whether that be with the bar speed, whether that be with vertical jump, or with a particular dribbling drill, whatever it may be, measurement can help you maximize. And that's key.
Most are doing little to no measurement, and therefore, they are highly unlikely to maximize their ability. In fact, if I had never measured anything through the years, my ability would be much lower in many areas. When I've worked with new players through the years, they're usually slow with the ball, initially. What they've done previously just isn't up to superhandle standards.
They're not measuring anything. They think they're fast enough or good enough just because they may have the coordination down, but there are levels to performance. And if you really want to push your performance, then measure what you can. Now, you can't measure everything. You can't measure creativity or the ability to counter defenders. That's why having variation is so important. Playing against good defenders, playing with a lot of one-on-one, those things are very important. They're critical. But in the things you can measure, measurement helps big time. When a player lacks the ability to explode, whether that be off the dribble, pushing off, or vertically, or explosive movements with the ball, moving the ball quickly. When they don't have that ability, they're capped at a lower level. They can't push through it unless they get their speed up, or their explosiveness up, or whatever it may be. And this is where measurement can really help.
So if you're not doing it, you're leaving game on the table.
I have a record for each leg for this particular exercise, so I'm going to try to beat my right leg record now. Now I'm going to do single leg depth jumps. I have a record I'm trying to beat from a 24-inch drop.
And now back to single leg pad squats. My aim is for these outputs to be elite, so I need to explode up.
I'm gonna rest now for a moment and then do my second rep with each leg.
I'm trying to give all I've got into each rep. I want that bar to move as fast as possible. This is about as intense as a moped on an incline, and I love it.
Now I'm doing single leg depth jumps, but this time I'm going to jump over a hurdle. Raise that up a little bit. Now I'm going to do some single leg depth jumps from a 30-inch drop, and I'm trying to break a record.
Now I have weighted ankle cars. These are controlled articular rotations, also known as ankle circles. And then I'm rotating my legs sideways and moving my foot from inside to outside. This is known as the ankle in out. And then I'm also doing these exercises with my other ankle. I want my ankles to be as strong and resilient as possible. And I do this a number of different ways, not only with slower movements like you're seeing now, but also with very fast movements, which you've seen in this workout as well.
Now I'm going to do single leg calf raises. I'm working on a full stretch and then exploding upward. All right, now I've upped the weight to 245, and I'm going to do my single leg calf raises. Now I'm going to do hip flexor knee drives, working on exploding here, and I start from a stretched position. Now I have another set of single leg calf raises, and my emphasis here is on making each individual rep as explosive as possible.
I'm real serious about the strength of my calves, and I have been since I was a kid. I'll often do calf raises at various times throughout a given day. I'm doing heavy calf raises right now, but I also work on my calves with very fast movements, with jumps, both double leg and single leg, along with other explosive movements. A number of these have been done in this workout. Now I have another set of hip flexor knee drives.
Now I'm going to do stop short Nordics. I'm going to go down like this, get close to the bench, but I'm not going to go all the way, and then pull it back to the starting point. So that's one rep. I'm doing 5 here. Controlling it, stop, and then boom, back. I'm going to go up as quickly as possible from here. Pause. I think that's 5, right? I'll do one more. Now I'm going to do banded stop short Nordics with one green band. I'm combining the stop short Nordics with the band, and I'm also going to do these as fast as I can. So I want to change my direction rapidly. Now I'm gonna do fast stop short Nordics with my body weight. I'm gonna go down fast and then try to come back as fast as possible. Let me do 1 rep on this right here.
I wanted to see if I could move this weight faster than I did earlier. I love the challenge. Now I'm doing Tibialis Raises. I want a full stretch and then move the weight up as quickly as possible.
Now I need to make 20 free throws in a row. $19, $20. Everyone wants to be elite, but not everyone wants to work at a long-term elite level. Your actions need to match your ambitions if you want your goal to become a reality. From a young age, I wanted to be elite. I wanted to be the best I could be. And I learned that I needed to look at the game differently, train differently, and play differently if I wanted to stand out. And that's what I've been doing for over 30 years. I'm still pushing, still trying to become harder to guard. And quite frankly, I love the super handles process. I love the challenge. Each practice, each training session is a new challenge to tackle. And if you look at it that way,
If you look at each session like a new opportunity to challenge yourself and you really push it,
you can make big progress. But you've got to work. You've got to work long term. Most aren't willing to do it. This is Elite Game Episode 4. Make sure to check out the next episode.